about when you were younger and you were you were sick.
Yeah, I was really shocked about why I was so sick, and then it was really interesting to me how I got sick, right, when I'm so young. But let me go back just a little bit and tell you kind of about the way I grew up, and so that'll kind of give you an idea of why I was so shocked. So I grew up on a farm in Eagle, Idaho. And, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but when you grew up on a farm, there is nothing but hard work. I mean, it was morning till night. I felt like the work was never done. And in fact, the work was never done. But the thing I really like about that is I have a fantastic work ethic. So that's something that I've been really blessed with in my life, is this work ethic and this idea of get into action and make it happen. But in growing up and going to school, that was really, really hard for me. School was, I guess, the very worst part of my life, if you can believe that. But it really wasn't. It's really had a lasting impact on me, just because it was so hard for me. Just think about it. Is there something that you've done for years and years and years and years, and it never gets easier? You never get any better at it, but you have to continue to do it. So, what happened to me is that my self-esteem went down year after year after year. And so it just became this perpetual bad situation. And then I came out of each year feeling worse and worse. So by the time I had graduated from high school, I had no self-esteem. I had no self-worth. And I think more importantly, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had absolutely no idea. And so I was just like a tumbleweed. Do you guys know what tumbleweeds are? Anyway, tumbleweed, being blown from here to there, and not really having any direction. I didn't have any goals. I didn't even know that you were supposed to set a goal and achieve a goal. So I was just doing whatever came my way. And I call that, now I look back and I call that survival mode. That's the mode I was in. It was just about surviving. And so I had all these tons of different jobs. I mean, I had job after job after job. And, I sold vacuums door to door. Oh, Rainbow's a good vacuum. I sold Cutco knives. I don't think I ever sold a Cutco knife except to my grandma, bless her heart, for buying a knife from me. So I was not a good salesman. I mean, I'm telling you, it was a really tough time. But you know what? By the time I was 24 years old, I got, oh my gosh, job of a lifetime. My dream job. I mean, it was exhilarating. I was excited. I was thinking, I am the most blessed person in the world, because I had just been offered this job as assistant manager at Taco Bell. And listen, I'm not kidding you when I say over the moon. Over the moon. And I was so excited. I mean, I could not even believe that people were going to hire me to tell other people what to do. I can tell you, I was beyond excited. So I start working there, and very quickly I realized that my dream job wasn't quite what I expected it to be. It wasn't fulfilling as I thought it would be. And what I did realize is that I worked about 70 to 80 hours a week, and I was on a salary, and so it didn't really amount to much money. So I was struggling financially. I had a car that, living in Phoenix, Arizona, I had a car with no air conditioning. It did play the radio, so I was very grateful for that, but it really looked bad. But you know how sometimes you tell yourself, you have a car without air conditioning, you're like, oh gosh, it's no big deal, I can roll down the window. We make excuses for ourselves when we're in these situations that are really uncomfortable and don't feel, quite right. It's like we have these dreams, but we can't quite achieve them. So what do? Instead of doing what we need to do to achieve them, we'll roll down the window, or we'll just say it's okay, or it's all right, or we'll really settle for things in our life that, gosh, that we wish we could change, but we just may not sure be how we can do that. So anyway, working at Taco Bell, one of the things that was a perk was that I got to eat all the free food I wanted. So, and eat the free food I did, because I did not have any money to spend on anything else. I mean, I couldn't even pay my bills. I had to get a roommate, all these other things. So I was really grateful that I could eat all of this food. And now remember, growing up on the farm, I ate really good food. I mean, I did not even know until I was about, I don't know, I'd say 13 or 14, that you can even buy milk from the store. I didn't know that you could buy meat from the store. I didn't know you could buy eggs. I just wasn't really paying attention, but we had all of that. We had an acre garden. We did all of that ourselves. And we had all of our own food. I very seldom remember ever needing to go to the store for food. And so I ate a very well-balanced meal, and I also ate very good food growing up. Now, working at Taco Bell, eating all of that food, we know now that's awful for your body. And it's a very, it puts your body in a state of dis-ease, if you will, because that is exactly what happened to me. So my body really started going down very quickly. I was in pain all the time. I couldn't move like I used to be able to move. I gained a lot of weight. All of these things start snowballing, and I have no idea what's going on. I'm completely confused. I'm like, how could this happen at such a young age? So I go to the doctor, and they just simply said, well, you've got this, you've got that. You're in pain. The only thing that we can really do for you, we don't see anything really wrong. The only thing that we can really do for you is give you some pain medication. Later on, you may have to have some kind of a joint replacement or something, but at this point, nothing we can do for you. Just take this pain medication. And I was absolutely horrified. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, I need something, so the rest of my life is just over and I'm gonna have to be on this pain medication all the time? Because why? You can't even give me a reason why. I'm just hurting and I'm sick and I feel awful and I've gained all this weight. And so I did what they said. I started taking the pain medication, and let me tell you, things went from bad to way worse. If I can even say it that way, from bad to real bad. And I mean, it was really, really awful, and I didn't know what to do. So what do we do sometimes when we are at our wits' end, we don't know what to do? We call our moms. So I called my mom and I said, Mom, oh my gosh, and I explained everything to her, and she was so funny. She said, Sheryl, you don't need to take that pain medication. You need to listen to Dead Doctors Don't Lie and take the Healthy Pig Pack. Are you kidding me? I thought, oh my goodness, they have gone crazy in Idaho. But I just didn't want to listen to her. And I was like, Mom, what are you talking about? I've never heard anything about that. The doctor didn't tell me about that. How can that be true? There's no way. And she said, Sheryl, I'm going to send you a cassette tape. So she sent me this cassette tape. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And you know what I did? I put it in the glove box and did not want to listen to it, because I was a little stubborn back then. So I just put it in the glove box, and I was like, there is no way that I'm going to listen to that cassette tape. It just, it just did not make sense to me. No one had ever told me this before. No one had ever mentioned anything about, a doctor saying that maybe there's another way. And so I just put that into the glove box, and I said, absolutely not. Well, I believe in all of our lives, there comes a time when enough is enough. When we get to a point where we just say, I can't go on. I can't do what I'm doing anymore. So a change has to happen. Something has to happen. And I got to that point in my life, and I decided that I needed to do something different, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. And, and I just remember crying and just in pain and not knowing, and, I'm not really able to function anymore. I gained more weight. I couldn't open up in the morning the restaurant because I was too tired. I couldn't close at night because I was too tired. I mean, things were just really, really bad. And I just remember looking in the glove box for whatever reason. I don't even know why I looked in there. And I found that tape. And I just thought, it's not going to hurt. Nothing else is working. So I put that tape in. And the very first thing I heard is Dr. Wallach say, I grew up on a farm. And from that moment on, this tape resonated with me. I listened to it. I heard things that I'd never heard before that nobody had ever told me. And I decided to take a chance on this, on what this tape was saying, and on what Dr. Wallach, the message he was sharing. And I have to tell you, this tape completely changed my life.